Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. Hey, if you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on that icon, clicking on that thumbnail, and hanging out with us. If you're already part of the Banks team, thank you for watching this video. Either way, we really appreciate you guys. Now, in this video, we're taking a tour at MORryde. We were there to get our independent suspension put on, and we took a tour, and a young man by the name of Gary gave us the grand tour of the factory. Now, what we didn't realize is that MORryde makes more than just IS or independent suspension. They make all kinds of stuff. Gary told us that they made all kinds of stuff, like they make surgical stuff for surgery. They make stuff for the military, anything dealing with metal, metal works, that kind of things. That's what they make. You'll also see how high tech this is, and that they employ a lot of people. They have more than one plant, and my first impression was how clean the place was. We walked around during operation hours and we didn't get in the way, and it seemed to run very smooth. There was one section that I found extremely interesting, especially just getting independent suspension put on our rig, and that was the fact that he was able to show us where they assemble the independent suspension and the quality control that goes into it, the different little nuances about the independent suspension. There was one there that was taken apart. So if you're interested in independent suspension, this video might be for you. If you're not, watch it anyway. So as you get ready to watch this video, we want to thank you again for hanging out with us here on All About the Banks. Be sure to check out our website. We have a brand new website. It's allaboutthebanks.life, and I'll put the little thing in here somewhere, and there'll be a link in the description. Check that out. Let us know what you think of it. Hey, become part of our team Banks. Join our email list, or join us on YouTube as part of sponsoring our channel, and we would really appreciate it. In 1966, the RV industry was booming in Elkhart, and thus MORryde was born. The Moore family saw an opportunity to fill a market need, and they started manufacturing suspensions for trailers and for RVs. In the 1980s, MORryde became the industry leader in motorhome and towable RV suspension systems. In the 1990s, they started their fabrication operations. And then one thing led to another, and they started chassis modification and upfit market. Since that time, MORryde has grown to a multi-plant facility with over 900,000 square feet and over 1,000 employees.
At some point, we'll most likely have to chastise me for taking my glasses. All right.
You go first.
This is the, starting from this wall back is the original building. And it was just this side, straight back.
Okay.
Then they added the additional side, and then there's been addition on top of addition on top of addition here. We've had probably about six or seven different additions to this property over the years. Going over here. Not a whole lot to see. This is more of a assembly area,
Okay.
if you will. Now, these two buildings were not originally here. As a matter of fact, you see that street? And then you know the street you pulled in on?
Mm-hmm.
That's Moyer Avenue. That came right straight in front of our building here. When we bought all this property over here, we petitioned the city for the street, and they were more than happy to let it go. Now, were you curious? Did you see that little house?
I've heard about the house.
Oh, you already know about that?
We know about it. Yep.
Yeah. we had a couple that was living there, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They were in their late 80s, early 90s when we bought the property, and they really didn't want to sell because they'd lived there for 60 years. So Bobby and Rodney, rather than kicking them out and forcing them out, they bought the property, let them live there until, well, Mrs. Smith passed away and Mr. Smith had to go to the nursing home. But yeah, let them live there as long as they wanted at no charge.
Nice.
And they took care of their lawn for them, et cetera, et cetera. So great people we work for.
So no one lives there now?
Currently, no.
Will you all do something?
We're going to do something with it. We have no idea at this point in time.
Like a cute little store or something.
Yeah, that would be a great after, yeah. Or they could let me move over here.
Yeah, for
I
free.
wouldn't have to drive to work.
That's right. Move over here for free.
Okay. Now we do ramp doors for the toy haulers. We were the first ones.
Is he coming this way? Yeah.
Oh, you gotta watch out for this guy.
You're the engine. Good morning.
How you doing?
Door works on you have a huge spring inside the frame, and you can just tighten the tension on it. And the more you tighten it up, the easier it is to lift up. Do you mind if we do it over to you? How you doing today? Doing great. Putting any electronics on it now? The latch?
Yeah, the key.
Okay, so we do, as I said, have electric locks just like your car, which is nice. You don't have the paddle locks. Click a key, unlock it at the top. Watch your step here. This, of course, is putting all the framework together on it and gluing it down.
What's the weight rating of the door?
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know right off the top of my head. You wouldn't want to put your car in there, but it'll handle any of your toys.
It's been a good couple weeks since I seen you. I was like, oh, it looks like Gary's giving the tours while he's in town.
Yeah. Okay, this is your IS. Start off with a beam assembly. Not a beam assembly, a frame hanger we call it. Has a cross member on it. Cross member consists of a 2x4 tube of steel. Then you take a C channel and wrap that around. And then you take yet a second C channel and wrap that around. So you have got close to 3/4 of an inch of steel in the middle there. And the purpose of that is to hold your frame nice and steady, because you have an I-beam frame anywhere from 10 to 12 inches tall. So you got all the weight on the top of the I-beam, you got the suspension on the bottom. If you didn't have that tied together, what's going to happen? The frame's going to flex. So that's why you have that cross member on there, and we just make it nice and beefy so it'll hold the camber in. The IS, excuse me, is an alignable system, so the toe end and the camber is adjusted just like your car or your truck. The way we do that this is the torque bracket. Torque bracket is nothing more than the pivot point. But you'll notice slotted, 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 round. So when you set the toe in, you want to set it to the kingpin. The toe in is the position of your tire this direction. So you loosen up the bolts and you pivot on this. That's how you set the toe in on it. Now, look at the tube there. See, I can't get my finger in on this side, but no problem on this side. So we build camber into this tube. And if you don't know what camber is, that's the position of your tire vertically. You don't want it to tilt out in. So we build enough camber. This is a 7,000 pound torque bracket. So you build enough camber in it for 3,500 pounds on this side, 3,500 pounds on this side. So if your weight is perfectly balanced on your trailer, side to side, front to rear, you don't have to do a thing. But how many of you have a perfectly balanced trailer?
Nobody.
Nobody. Exactly. So in that situation, we may have to adjust it. And the way we adjust it is we just put a camber shim here or here, depending on whether you need negative or positive camber put in that to match your weight rating. The key thing is it's matched to your trailer weight and distribution. Now you got 3 wear components on the IS. That is what we call a Rexnoid bushing. That's just so you're not rubbing steel against steel. The journal bar. Let's see, do we have a beam assembly over here? Yeah. That is your journal bar. You look down there.
Okay.
That's what goes through here. And again, your pivot point. You got the Rexnoid bushings in there. And you have a greaser here. You want to grease this torque bracket at least a couple of times a year. And you just shoot it in until it oozes out, because this is not a sealed tube. Does it help with lubrication? Of course. But the biggest thing is, if that were going in, water gets in, what's going to happen? It's going to rust, right? Again, that's solid steel, so it's not going to rust all the way through, in our lifetime anyway. But when it dries out, that rust will start crusting off, and it's very abrasive, and you'll see that's a fiber bushing. So what's it going to do to it? Wear it prematurely. So keep it greased, and you should get about 100,000 miles out of these bushings before you have to replace them. And they are replaceable.
Do I have to take it someplace to replace it?
Probably so. Probably so. You'd want to take it someplace that can do the alignment also.
What kind of grease?
The grease you're going to use, we use that blue tacky grease, high temp.
No, I need to do the ship blue still.
But any actual grease will work for this. It's just it's more or less in this area. Now, you don't want to mistake a wrinkle for a tear. When you got load on this, that skin on these caps, and if you read it, it says oil bath. We do not recommend oil bath. We don't make them oil bath. So you're saying, well, why are you putting an oil bath cap on there? Unfortunately, the solid caps are not holding up. They were breaking left and right. Now we've got them working on it, but we went back to this particular cap because it's a proven workhorse on it. I tell you this simply because if you go in to have somebody pack your bearings, let them know. No, it is not oil. Because oil and grease, they don't play well together. You don't want to mix them. Okay. Any questions?
One of them is great for not rusting, but it's not as strong as steel.
It's not. That's why you see these bends in here to strengthen it up. You'll also notice that we're not welding it. We're actually bolting it on there. So it's been tested in Moab, Utah, on the test track. better.
Gary,
Yeah.
Now, thing about the laser is it's going to pierce inside the cutout portion of it. See where that, why does it do that? Well, you don't want a burr in a bolt hole, right? Or a slot. So it'll pierce here, and you see that this slag comes out of there. Well, then it just goes out to the outside perimeter and takes care of that. You can save all the scrap because we do resell that, recycling. Yep. You can see where it's cutting up here.
That's cool.
That looks like almost a half-inch steel that it's cutting. About 50 came off. Still at the temperature.
And it just got through being cut.
Yep. Exactly. Now we actually have two tables. While she's unloading the table, there's one inside there cutting right now. So by the time, wait. By the time she gets that unloaded, drops the skeleton, puts another sheet on. You don't want to mess with her. We have software that nests all these pieces together. Now they're using all one piece on this one, but you may see multiple part numbers on there just to get the best utilization out of that piece of steel.
Yeah.
But that is the skeleton that'll go into the scrap and be a couple of the robotic systems. Most of them are in another plant, but this is one of my favorite. Uh-oh.
Oh, it just stopped.
Oh, no, there you go.
There we go.
This one is looking for the blank, and it'll pick it up. And then when it comes around, whoops. Now, did you see that little red flash?
Yep.
It's checking to make sure that that is the part that they're cutting. If the dimensions were not correct when it took that picture, then it would stop the machine completely.
R2D2.
Yeah. Now, the pieces on the bottom are called dies. The top is called a punch, where it's bending there. It will change out its own tooling, and it'll level itself out. All the operator has to do is come over here and check the first couple of pieces just to make sure it's in spec.
Wow.
Now, and as you can see, some of the bends can get kind of complex. You got 1, 2, 3. A bunch.
A bunch. A bunch. Yeah.
How are you?
Good, you?
all brackets and doors.
Beg your pardon?
All brackets and doors.
Yes. cool, huh? Ah, yeah. Right behind it is our qualification. All these parts are waiting to be checked. You notice all the templates up there? Depends on how critical the tolerances are. You can use some of those check templates. Other than that, here's where they're putting all the beams and templates together. That's probably a 9K beam assembly right there. That's solid steel. That's your journal bar. That's solid steel. And then that's your speckle. Right now. Are you seeing it? They're turning it right now.
Yep, turning it.
It's actually cutting
Right here.
the other window. Draw a picture on this. It's amazing. Realize that we do parts for Jeeps as well.
No, didn't it? Uh-uh.
We do those racks for the side tanks, the joy tanks there. We have heavy duty hinges. A little bit of everything. Got a kitchen that actually goes in the back of the Jeep that you can slide out.
I bet Sherry Hill knows that.
Yep.
Well, they got my 10 bucks on there.
Oh, cool.
Yes, they do. That's yours there, huh?
Yeah.
7?
Yep.
Oh, I was.
Oh. I'm in 6.
Oh, you're in 6. Okay.
I got this. That was his. He's in 7.
Okay.
So get me in a picture.
This is something that we're going to get your opinion on. It's a brand new product.
The
Have
suction
you
cup
released
thing.
it yet?
The suction cup thing?
No.
Oh, that's the one you. Ah.
Yeah. Now we had this out once before, different version of it, and we had a problem with water cooler. So they came up with this V-shaped and then this is all built in.
So guys, there's the tour. We thank you so much for watching. And we did not know that MORryde did all that kind of stuff. So, as we always say, enjoy the journey on the way to your destination. If you enjoyed this video and others like it, hey, we got 2 more coming up. Check out these 2 somewhere on this screen.